reason that I'm not a celebrity. I don't put myself out there. It's not how I make my living. You know, if I was a celebrity, obviously it's something, you know, I'd have to deal with. But there's a reason for everything. And I mean, I understand. It's, you know, when you're signing up to be a celebrity, you know what you're getting into.
Let's go back to what it feels like for you.
It's not fun, obviously.
What did it feel like when you heard that a cow?
I don't enjoy it.
Let's slow down. What did it feel like when they said a cow is riding a bull? Somebody saw that picture and said that. What did that feel like?
I can't say that I'm shocked. So I don't think, it didn't blindside me, Tyra. So, I mean.
Have you heard comments like that before about yourself?
Not really. I tend to get along with everyone. I'm a really fun-loving person, and you know what? People really don't trash talk me. It's not something that I'm used to.
Okay. Monica, we're going to read one of yours. Stand up. What's your name?
Megan.
Megan, you're reading something from Monica from the internet?
Yes. The first comment was, "That's what we were thinking. We're not sure if it's excessive makeup or the body glitter, but this disaster piece just leaves a bad taste in your mouth." And the last one was, "That's the biggest sore I've ever seen. Stay away from that bottom lip."
Damn, that's how they really feel, huh? Okay.
What does that feel like, Monica?
You know, I'm a small town girl from East Palo Alto, you know, so living in a small town, I'm like used to it. To be honest, I'm used to it. I was actually telling one of your producers how like I have an honesty box on my Facebook, and I get a lot of hate mail. Like I get like, "I hope you die of AIDS." That's like the worst thing anyone's ever said to me, you know? "You're ugly." I get a lot. So you know what, to be honest, that wasn't as bad as I've had it.
Why do you think you get things that are so bad? Not even talking about a Facebook, but just on your town. Why do you, what are people saying that?
I mean, just because like I said, I grew up in East Palo Alto, so it's a very small town, and I speak properly. And so speaking properly in a small town like East Palo Alto, target. You know, like.
What's the most hurtful thing you've heard about yourself from
Like I said, the most hurtful thing I said was, "You're a whore. I hope you die of AIDS." And that's like funny because I had a boyfriend for like 3 years, so I wasn't actually being promiscuous. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't founded at all, but that's the worst thing someone has ever said to me, anonymously.
Well, you guys, my producers did create this website, but they did not launch it. The comments were written by our audience members who agreed to do this if they could remain anonymous. And the interesting thing is, yeah, the interesting thing though is when those things were being said about you guys, I sensed pain in every single one of you. There are certain people, and I know them, that things can be said about them and they're like so comedic and so light that it really doesn't affect them. But I saw every single thing that those blogs that we created, that these people said here, I saw it get to every single one of you guys. And one thing that's important to remember, everybody is a human being. Everybody. Everybody has to get up and put their pants leg on one or the other. Everybody takes a like, you have a lot more in common with celebrities than you will ever know. And they are human beings. And I say if you don't feel brave enough to say it not anonymously, then it's just a punk move dealing with our own insecurities and a way to get it out, which is not healthy. So, and you guys aren't here to be attacked today. Again, this is just, you know, kind of pulling the layer off, and I commend you guys for finally showing your faces. And it's not about attack. As Demi Moore said, it's showering you with love. And I want to, you know, give you guys love and encouragement and know that you are a meaningful person. Just because everybody in the world doesn't know your name doesn't mean that you are not worth anything. That you are special too, just like every damn celebrity and Us Weekly and In Touch and all those magazines are. You guys are special people. We'll be right back. What we just saw earlier, cyber hate is so crazy. It's at an all-time high. I have a woman by the name of Liskula here with me. Her name has been all over the papers recently because someone anonymously created a vicious blog about her called Skanks in New York City. And Liskula actually took Google to court to find out who created the site, and Liskula actually won. So Liskula at the top of the show, we modeled together in Paris, like in '92, long time ago. So, and she's been on the covers of what, like Australian Vogue and Elle Magazine, WWD in Europe, so you've had a very successful modeling career. Tell me, how did you find out about this person blogging about you? How did you find out?
On set, a client said to me, "Did you see that horrible blog written about you?" And I went, "What?" And then I went home and just saw it and was horrified.
What kind of things were being said on it?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
Nothing true and nothing good.
Nothing good, nothing true. Did you think, how did it make you feel when you were reading it?
I mean, I try and live a pretty honest life, and I have really good relationships with my business people and with my friends, and I just thought, who could have ever possibly done this? And I just really wanted to know why.
The comments on the blog about Liskula were very explicit and very cruel. One comment described her as a filthy, disgusting, foul, and a whore. Another comment said the first place award for skankiest in New York City would have to go to Liskula Cohen. Another one said she is a psychotic, lying, whoring skank. Desperation seeps from her soul if she ever has one. Did you have any idea who would create this about you?
No, but part of the reason why we wanted to find out who did it was because a year previous I was attacked, assaulted by a man in a nightclub and stabbed in the face.
Wow.
So the blog just happened to come out the month that he got out of jail.
So you thought it was him?
Yeah.
And then with research you guys found out it wasn't him?
No.
No. And tell me, how did you end up going to court? Because I didn't even know that that was possible to be able to find out.
Yeah, neither did I. But it's Google's policy that if you want to unmask an anonymous blogger, that you have to get a court order. So, I mean, obviously it would have been my choice, to sue Google. But that was my only option, so I went with it.
And so you found out, and who did it end up being?
A really random girl that I don't really even know. Like, I've probably had 4 conversations with her in my life. Like, she's just, when you go to events, you go to these concerts, she was just somebody that was always there. Never with me, never with my...
Was she a model too?
No.
She was not a model?
No.
Do you want to say her name?
No. Her name will never come out of my mouth.
Can I say it?
You can say whatever you want, girl.
Because I think she should know. I think people should know. Her name is Rosemary Port. That's the girl that said it. So when you found out it was her, some girl that you kind of don't know, what did you do?
Well, I mean, what did I do? I jumped up and down, I was laughing, and I was excited.
Like,
it was nobody that I had respect for.
Oh.
It was nobody that I valued their opinion. It was nobody important in my world. It was nobody like,
Did you go to her? Did you say?
I called her. She was the first person I called. And I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And she was like, "Fine, how are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm sure you can imagine exactly how I am." And I said, "I don't know if I've ever done anything to you in my life to deserve this, but if I have, I just want to tell you that I'm really sorry."
That was big of you, right? Especially for somebody that you don't really even know.
Some people just don't have anything better to do in their lives. I mean, those people that you had on before, I feel bad for them too. Like.
Me too.
When you have to point your finger at somebody, it's, 3 are pointing back at you, and that's truly how you feel about yourself. And until you're happy with yourself, thou shalt not judge.
Did she apologize?
No.
No?
No. I'll never get an apology.
Really? Wow.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, if she can't find it in herself to say I've done something wrong and I want to apologize, then she has to wake up and look at herself every day.
The Tyra Show producers reached out to Rosemary Port through her lawyer, and she declined to comment at this time. Wow. Well, thank you so much for telling the story, and I'm so proud that you were able to find out who this was.
Everybody can. Just nobody did.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
I think what happened to that model is absolutely disgusting. Nobody should have to go through that. It ruins people's lives. And if someone in the world has so much time and energy on their hands to create a blog that hateful, they should refocus and get educated about something that could maybe make a difference in the world rather than destroying somebody's life. Good for her for taking Google to court and finding out who's at the bottom of it.
Would you be shocked to know that Caucasian men dating Asian women makes up more than 75% of the interracial dating scene? You got that? Out of 100% of interracial dating, 75% of it is Caucasian men and Asian women. Now, on the Tyra Show, we're always open to new conversations about race. We get a lot of email from a lot of people saying, Tyra, I want you to do this topic about race and this topic about race. But recently, my producers showed me a really controversial article in Marie Claire magazine, and I said that we should do this. The article was called The New Trophy Wife. Johnny, Ben, and Ryan are here, and they all say that a certain woman is the perfect trophy wife. What is that, guys?
First of all, I don't really want to use the word trophy wife. That really was used in the article. I think for me, I lived in Asia. I just feel very comfortable with their culture. And I think that the Asian female is a little bit more not submissive to the male, but it's more like she's following the dreams of her male a little bit more, and the white females and the black females, and that's a good thing, are more busy with their own career. But it depends what kind of man you are and what kind of what you prefer in a female. So personally for me, I dated all races and I love all races, don't get me wrong. But relationship-wise, after all these experiences, it turned out that I just connect better with the Asian women.
Okay, I know you said there was one Asian woman, you met her, you stayed at her place, and you woke up, and what?
Oh yeah, that was a very funny story. I lived at the time in the south of France, and I met this girl the first night, and she asked me to stay over at her place, so I did. After 3 hours, I wake up to go to the restroom. So I went to the restroom and the girl was gone. So I felt a little bit uncomfortable to being in her house, you know. I was looking around and the car was gone. But as the male as I am, I went back to bed to sleep because I just slept. I just slept for 3 hours. So I went back to bed, and like 3 hours later, she woke me up and she was wearing lingerie. She was gone to buy me breakfast. She made me strawberries. She made me fresh orange juice. She totally pampered me. And I ended up staying a year with this girl because I was so, you know, she gave me such a good... She
pampered you. Okay, Ben, you prefer Asian women too. Tell me about the security that you get with them.
You know, it's something about an Asian woman that just looks safe. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because, you know, maybe because they're little or something. I don't know. They're cute. I mean, I don't want you to take it the wrong way. I mean, I'm into them, so obviously it's a good thing to me. I think that they're beautiful. I mean, I don't see any reason why people wouldn't.
You said they're safe to bring home to mom. Explain that.
Like you were saying with the statistics, it used to only be that like you would see Asian girls with white guys all the time, but it seems like in the last couple of years, it's become more accepted for Asian women to be with brothers. And so it's all good for me, you know what I'm saying?
And then Ryan, I understand that you say that there's two sides to the Asian woman that you like. There's the public and then there's the private side.
I think in public, a lot of Asian women are very reserved, and in private, they're more themselves, but just to their partner. I've dated Asian women since about 2000. Not exclusively, and I've never used the word trophy wife, and that's not why I'm with my girlfriend or any of my previous girlfriends. I've dated black women, Latina women, but all my girlfriends have been Asian women.
Yeah, you said, but what you told my producers is you said in the public they're, you know, quiet, and then behind closed doors.
They're more reserved in public, and behind closed doors, they're just more adventurous.
And what do you mean by that?
More adventurous. The Caucasian women that I've been with in the past, less adventurous at home. And
you mean in the bedroom?
Yes.
Why are you censoring yourself so much? Did you say that you had an Asian girlfriend from college and she'd wake you up with oral sex every morning?
Yes.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.